So I've been playing Cairn. Cairn is the climbing game. I don't really know how do you pronounce that, but yeah, I've been playing that, and it's such a good game. Like this is after finish it, and I would say like my take on the game completely changed after I finish it. So I get to that eventually, but it's such a weird game because the type of thing it reminded me the most was a Souls like, and I know it's a whole thing to say a game is the Dark Souls of whatever, but one, I don't think there's enough climbing games to say this is the Dark Souls of climbing games, and also I don't think it's the difficulty. That said, it's not an easy game, and I get to that, but the thing that actually remind me of Dark Souls is that in the same way that part of the core experience of Souls likes is just discovering what the game wants you to do or what to do in a situation, right? Like either learning the patterns of enemies or bosses, or like knowing when you're gonna get ambushed or where to go through to make it easier for you to find less enemies or not die or whatever. Part of the core experience of those games is that discovery, and here is kind of the same. In a way, it almost feels like a puzzle game, but instead of combat, you have the climbing. It's the whole game actually. There's no other thing in the game. Well, there's a survival element, but it's really light to be fair. But here, like I said, it's climbing. Like the whole point of the experience is find a way to climb, how much you can stretch, how much can you go through without slipping, without falling to your death. And in that element, like it's changing the combat for climbing, and it all of a sudden it felt like a Dark Souls. It also does have like similar mechanics, like it has bonfires, I guess you can call them, which is basically the only points where you save, and you feel that same tension of, oh shit, the last time I saved was 30 minutes ago and I could die here and lose all my progress. Also has this really cool system with the pitons, where you put them to put like safe points between climbing distance, and you have a limited number of them, and also you can break them, so you can have even less of them. And the tension that you feel when you can see the top of a climbing point, but you don't have any pitons and you're shaking because you're gonna lose all your stamina. It's so fucking stressing. That is really cool. But that's the strange thing. Like I couldn't stop thinking about, oh, this feels like a soul. Like the other part. Also, weird thing. It reminds me of this old game. This is gonna late me, but this old game called Mound Your Friends or Mound with Your Friends, which is a game about. It's a game about being a naked dude climbing a goat and see how far you can go. It's such a ridiculous game. Also, it has a control scheme really similar to that. Almost you can say that Cairn is a simplified version actually, because it's automatic the limb you use instead of each button being a limb, whatever. But funny enough, like I find that, Mount with Your Friends walk so Cairn cool run. But the other element to the game that I find is it almost feels like a cozy game. I hate that term. Well, I don't hate them, but I don't get cozy games, right? I know New Horizon was big when in the pandemic. Never see the appeal to Animal Crossing. Like I don't know, it's just the freedom of capitalism without the stress or something like that. I don't know. Also, just in general, I don't get those games. Stardew Valley also, I hear really good things, but again, I don't see the point. Like, there's no goal. I know Minecraft is something like that for some people, and I just get lost in those games. Like, I remember playing Minecraft and thinking like, I need a goal because I just made a house and then like, well, I'm bored. So I never got cozy games in that aspect. But one that I play, strangely enough, was another game about climbing a mountain. It was called Short Hike, and where you are an anthropomorphical bird where you're in a vacation, I think, with your mom or something like that, but you need to take a call, and the only point in the mountain where you have signal is in the top of the mountain. So your angry teenager is willing to climb the mountain just to get his call, and that's the goal of the game technically. But really, the goal of the game is get lost in the world. There's a bunch of quirky characters doing quirky minigames, and the whole point of the game is get lost in this world. And that's where I realized, okay, this game isn't clicking with me. It's a good game, but isn't clicking with me. Because I realized that I only wanted to climb the mountain and finish the game because I'm there for the story, but there's not much of a story there. And I realized that, oh, I'm missing the point of the game. And I think I feel the same about all cozy games. And this game, strangely enough, gave me that feeling. Like, I was playing, and in the middle of a session, all of a sudden, it's like almost 2 hours, and I just got lost in this flow state where I'm just enjoying climbing. And the game knows it. Like, there's some points where you can take a break and take in the views, look the mountain and the clouds, and at night the game shows you like these crazy skies full of stars and looks really cool. But like the whole point is you need to pay attention of what you're doing and where you're putting your hands and your feet if you don't want to fall to your death. And that it gets you in this flow state, I guess. And in that aspect, I think the game, I'm never done climbing. I play the guitar, so I take care of my hands. So what the game reflects of what climbing does to your hands, I never gonna touch a fucking boulder. But I run, and running has that element to, being a lone sport experience where the whole point is to push yourself, and that's it. Like, there's nothing to it. Like, for me, therapy is I put my earphones and I just go for a run, and sometimes just wanted to push myself to see where I can go. And I feel that the game gives you that experience really good. And that's where, like I said, my take on the game. Like, because before finishing the game, I was like, this is a fun game. Like, if you are the type of person that enjoy challenges, this is a great game for that. And that's it. But after finishing the game, like, I'm like, holy shit, that was a whole experience. And I'm so happy that I did it. Like, I can tell you that the finishing sequence, the last act of the game, it's emotional, and it has nothing to do with the story. The game has a story, and it's there, it's good. It reminds me of the movie Free Solo, which is a documentary about actually climbing, which is the whole point of the movie is this guy is really good at climbing, but also he might not be the best person because of that. And basically that's the story of Cairn. But it's completely about the mechanics. It's this idea of you're gonna do it or you're not. Are you gonna get to the end? And in that aspect, the game achieved that feeling of, I assume, what climbing a mountain it feels like. Like the sense of satisfaction that you get at the end, it's actually really good. And again, if you have played Souls, like, it's the same feeling of almost like gamer cred. I don't care about it, but like it's almost this idea of like I did it just to say that I did it or just to prove that I could. And this game achieved that really good. So Cairn is such a good game, and if you anything of what you see of the game calls your attention, you should try it because it's such a good experience.